Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and those great millstones for teaching us this truth. Peace and blessings to hope like the Israel. Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the heavenly Hebrew. By Hashem means the name, and Yahushai is the name of the begotten Son. Back with the lesson. Today's main topic is going to be these heathens will go into captivity for the things that they have done, the crimes that they have committed against the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, especially speaking on you damn Edomites, man, for all the rape, rob, and murder, the bloodshed that you have spilled of our people, and all the atrocities and crimes that you have committed. You're not going to go unscathed, man, and you will be punished, man. And also speaking on you heathen nations also, because you played a role and a part in the captivity of the nation of Israel. So you're not exempt either. And I recently came across a video right here, and this is a small example of what's to come and what you heathen nations will come to do. So place real quick and we dive to these scriptures I got. Lord willing, it won't be too long. And it's like if I kind of coughed at the lesson. I'm still getting over the sickness, but Lord's will still get the point across, and it'll be edifying.
The teacher was suspended after having his white students bow down to their black classmates for Black History Month. He also had the white students fan and feed the black classmates. The teacher decided to film all of this and post it publicly on social media. While the 6th graders seem to be giggling about the situation, parents are angry and accusing the teacher of injecting politics into the classroom. Multiple parents have called for the teacher to lose his job, while others are defending the teacher's actions. A Florida teacher
and that teacher was pretty much preparing those Edomites for what's to come, because guess what? That's what you're going to come to do. So enjoy your kingdom while you still can, while you're still ruling, while you're still in power, because very soon, this is what you're going to be doing, man. You're going to be serving under us, man. You're going to be punished for everything that you have done, and the Lord's not going to let you escape. So you have these devils, trying to find ways to obtain immortality in order to continue to rule and be in power, trying to sweep the things that they have done under the rug as if nothing happened, as well as you see the nations, look what happens when you have Jake going over there to those, other lands, where Moab and Ammon is at, Japanese, Chinese, and other areas also. Just look at the way these heathens look at Jake, man. Just that hatred and just the disgust in their face, man. I saw this one video where you had, I believe it was like some basketball players traveling over there to play or something. And you had all those, I believe it was Moabites, pretty much, screaming the N-word, So this type of, what's I'm looking for? It's like, hatred that they have for us, man. Because they don't like us, man. And once again, that's something Jake that can't, wrap their head around. Because Jake loves to think that, we're all equal, the Lord loves everybody, it's all fine and dandy, and that's not the case. Because all throughout the scriptures, Yahweh by Shema Shai is dealing with a specific people, and that's Israel, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and so on. The 12 tribe chart. As well as you have the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, that have been spread amongst the four corners of the earth, that are amongst, in the midst of those heathen nations, which we're about to prove right here. As well as other scripture, principles the book of Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter and 32nd chapter, going into it now. Isaiah 14, and 1 through 3. As for Yahweh Bashem Shai will have mercy on Jacob. And that should be another telltale sign right there of who Yahweh Bashem Shai is dealing with. For Yahweh Bashem Shai will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And the strangers that speaking of right here is going to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird. The Israelites that have been spread once again amongst the four corners of the earth, that are in the midst of those heathen nations that have picked up their ways, and we have lost who we were, as the scripture going to, book of Deuteronomy 32, But now you're seeing the great awakening of our people, coming back to who we are. You have Jake's, I think there was a video came out a while back. Elder Apostle Dahar, I believe, reposted it. We had brothers over there in the Philippines, teaching the names, man. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So, our people are waking up, man. And the spirit beareth witness. For example, I'm look at Drake's son. His son looks nothing like him, but he goes back to the tribe of Judah. Which I believe Drake's a Judite, so his son would be a Judite, because you are what your father is. But just anyone. For Yahweh Hashem Shai will have mercy on Jacob. Excuse me. He will yet choose Israel and set them in a land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, because being joined together means you're taking part. And you're not going to have the nations take part in the promises. That's for Israel, man. Now it says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Now this right here is where it's going to the heathen nations. Because one thing, there's two forms of Gentiles. There is the heathen nations, but then you have the Israelites, which you go through all throughout the scriptures. You gotta, what's I'm looking for? This certain word just slipped my mind. Discern between the two. There we go. Verse 2, because you have a lot of people that always try to make it seem like the Lord's dealing with heathens, but the prophets of old were teaching to the Israelites. Going back to the book of Romans and many other scriptures, man. Now, verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh Shemashai for servants and handmaids. In other words, slaves. That's what you're going to come to do. Reap what you sow, so to return upon your own head, man. And, yeah. For servants and handmaids, then you shall take them captives. Whose captives they were? Who were taken in captivity, man? Israel. The so-called Negroes, Mexicans, Native Americans, Ephraim, all the 12 tribes, man. And you always have these devils, trying to sweep the things that they've done on the road. As doesn't happen. You're going to pay, man. And the scripture going to Numbers 35 and 33, which you get later on in the lesson. I think I got that scripture earlier, too. But then they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. I mean, come on, it can't get any clearer than that. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Who oppressed us, man? These heathen nations. Mainly Esau, Edom, which, he's going to get it the worst. Because after that 1,000-year period is served, that the captivity, this devil's gonna be completely exterminated, man, done away with. Verse 3, because who else was thrown into captivity? Verse 3, and it shall come to pass in that day, no one else fits that description, man. Verse 3, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage when thou wast made to serve. Who served that bondage and are still serving it to this day? Israel, man. The 12 tribes. I mean, look at all the things that we and our people are still going through, man. You have Jake being falsely accused. You had this one Jake, spitting this cop's face. I believe he received, I think, like 10 years in prison. If not life. I forget the exact amount. But you just see just things just like things these devils do. I wish that Jake was stupid for doing so. Because look at the situation he got himself in. So I feel like if I'm kind of rambling, but Lord, I'm getting the point across. A lot of things coming to mind. Now, it's Deuteronomy 32 and 26, as I mentioned earlier, just to prove that Yahweh Shemashai has scattered us amongst the four corners of the earth. Now it says, I said I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. So that's where you had many Jakes, losing their ways, starting to pick up the heathen nations' ways and following their customs and all that. But now you're seeing the great awakening of our people. You have brothers everywhere across the four corners of the earth teaching this word. As I mentioned earlier, you have brothers over in the Philippines teaching the names, preaching this word. Brothers over there in where Moab and Ammon is located at, the Japanese, Chinese, and also in all these different lands. One more time, I said I would scatter them. Excuse me. I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. But this way, I'll also have the scriptures. In the land of captivity, ye shall remember yourselves. All right, let's get other scripture, which I had another one down here too. So let's get this while I'm at it. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Now it says, and Yahweh Shemashai shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And you have many of the scriptures going back to Matthew 24 and 31. How the angels of the Lord shall gather together his elect from the four winds, the four corners of the earth, as well as in Isaiah 11 and 11, which we get after this or later on in this lesson. Now it says, from the one end of earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So it's also showing you You know, people are picking up the ways of the heathen and, you know, getting led astray. You know, all part of the curses, man. Now, let's go up top. Let's get a few more scriptures that came to mind. And like I said, the Lord's will is edifying. But as we just read in Isaiah 14, of what's going to come upon these heathens' head. You know, things that have been done unto us will be done unto them. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and you will have no pastors in these Christian churches bring out these scriptures, you know, and teach this right here. You know, because ultimately the main goal is try to keep you here, and ultimately try to lead you astray further and further away from Yahweh Shem Shai. And also ultimately because they believe in that delusion that Yahweh Shem Shai is so-called dealing with everybody, when that's not the case. We're just going to look throughout all the scriptures, and Yahweh Shem Shai is dealing with these specific people, man. You know, one of the main scriptures that they always like to bring out is John 3:16, and that's their main go-to. You know, but many other scriptures prove that Yahweh Shem Shai is not dealing with any other nation but Israel, you know. And we're going to prove it a little bit more throughout this lesson, just to, you know, bring the point home. Now it says, "He that is in captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." And once again, who led us into captivity, man? These heathen nations. You know, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white men of the day, and many other heathen nations played a role and a part in the captivity of the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. You know, so you're not going to go unscathed, man. You know, you'll be punished for your crimes and everything that you have did. The atrocities, the rape, the rob, the murder that has been committed against our people. You know? And the Lord's not going to let that go. You know? This is what you get for touching the apple of Yahweh Shem Shai's eye. Now, let's get this scripture I got here in Obadiah, which I had down here. Obadiah 1:15, that says, "For the day of Yahweh Shem Shai is near upon all the heathen." I'll say it further, so people can hear it in the back. "For the day of Yahweh Shem Shai is near upon all the heathen." You know, trying to say that saying, you know, say it louder for the people in the back. People like to say whatever, you know. "For the day of Yahweh Shem Shai is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee." There you go. Just as we built your kingdom, you know, through slave labor, all the atrocities and things that you've done to us, it's going to return upon your own head, man. You know, these devils taking credit for the things that, you know, Jake invented. Which you see many Jakes, you know, invented tons of things that are, you know, still used to this day, and Esau even took credit for it. You know, the kingdom that has been built, these devils took credit for it. You know, without Jake, this kingdom cannot, you know, operate, man. Or I should say queendom, man, because that's what it really is. With all the wickedness and confusion that you see being pushed all throughout the world, especially here in Babylon the Great. "For the day of Yahweh Shem Shai is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." Hey, reap what you sow. Now let's get to the last few scriptures. Like I said, the Lord's will is edifying. Numbers 35:33. Now it says, "So you should not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land." "And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." And who shed that blood? Esau, Edom. You know, the scripture going to Ezekiel 35. Let's get that. I was going to say 35:15, but right here. "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword." Whose blessing is the sword? Genesis 27:39-40. Esau, Edom. Who's in power today? Esau, Edom. Job 9:24. "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity, and the time that they had their iniquity had an end." So there you go. You know, and they got their whole kingdom, you know, through lies and through deceit, through the rape, rob, and murder of our people, man. Which you get right here, which I could also get Revelations 11:18. You know, "Destroy them which destroy the earth." Which, who's destroying this earth, man? Esau, Edom. You pretty much have everything suffering under this devil's rule. But that also doesn't exclude nor excuse the things that these heathen nations have done and participated in, because you will also pay for the things that you have done. Excuse me. Now let's get to right here. Now it's Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8. Now it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, who got their kingdom through lies and through deceit, through bloodshed? Esau, Edom. I can't get any clearer than that. Read it from top one more time. Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, who is the kingdom going to be translated to? Israel, man, the 12 tribes. As we're about to get also another scripture, how Esau, Edom is the end of the world. And the kingdom is translated from one people to another, and you're slowly seeing that transitioning period take place. Because now you're starting to see devils not able to get away with certain things as they used to before. You're starting to see more riots, more uproars of the people. This whole nation is divided, which is a terrible sign for a nation. Excuse me. Now, what was that scripture I was going to get? Go to 2 6 and 9 right here, which we get later. Have a lot of scriptures, but Lord will satisfy the lesson, get the point across. Isaiah 14, 21 through 22. They also have these heathens, especially Esau, Edom, always trying to escape the things that they have done. Make it seem like they never did anything. Especially once we are, pushing and teaching this word, and telling you what Esau, Edom has done, especially to Esau, Edom. They're always trying to make excuses and try to escape, their judgment. I wasn't alive back then. I didn't have slaves. I didn't do anything. I didn't participate in that. Well, guess what? Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. You have to pay for the crimes of your forefathers, man. And that isn't an excuse, especially the things that you may have done in your past life, And yes, reincarnation is real and is a thing. That's a whole nother topic. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Because, once we are pushing this word and teaching it, and telling of all the crimes Esau has committed and him going to captivity and slavery for things that he has done, they're always, as the scriptures are going to, how they, what's what I'm looking for? They complain of an ungodly father. Let's get that real quick. You're always trying to, slither the way out. I didn't do any of that. I didn't own any slaves. I don't think that way. I'm different from them. Ecclesiastes 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Look at that. There you go. Did we not just read right here? Let's go back to this. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. You're going to be taken out, man. Once again, you'll pay for your crimes. And Yahweh Shema Shai is a just God, man. Now, verse 22, for I will rise up against him. Excuse me. Salakia. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith Yahweh Shema Shai, because very soon, go back to the 13th chapter, America will be completely taken out, and Esau Edom will also be completely done away with after he serves that 1,000-year period captivity, Then there will be no more need for you, No more need for a wicked. Because, hey, you done did your job, and guess what? That's it. Now, let's get a little bit more. Isaiah 11:11, as I kind of mentioned earlier. And it's got these few scriptures right here just to prove that Yahweh Shai is dealing with these specific people. And also going back to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird. Now it says, it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh, or the Lord, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So to be saved a second time, you would have to be saved the first time. Now, who was saved and delivered the first time? Israel out of ancient Egypt. So that's what it's speaking of right there, going back to the first time. Now, the second time is speaking of the great deliverance that will take place over here in Babylon the Great, or aka, modern day Egypt, as scripture going to Revelations, America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Now in that day, it's like, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. And this should really just clear it all up, be crystal clear of who the Lord is dealing with and who the Lord is coming back to deliver, and redeem. Now, set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. Now you have Jake. Once again, as we just read in Deuteronomy 28 and many other scriptures, Yahweh Shemashai has scattered us amongst, the heathen, the four corners of the earth, amongst those other nations. This is what's speaking of right here. You have Jake that's in the midst of those other nations that are calling themselves, Greeks, Romans, Moab, Ammon, Japanese, Chinese. But in reality, their seed, their spirit goes back to the line of Israel, One more time. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall set his hand again a second time, which should be clear of who the Lord is coming back to redeem, meaning they would have to be from, or had to do it like they would be an Israelite to be saved a second time, Because they always like to, these damn devils always try to find ways to save themselves, to try to twist the scriptures to their liking. But when you tie up the scriptures together, as it's going to, line upon line, here a little and there a little, connect the dots. It's right here is going to Israel. The remnant of his people which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So which is going to Israelites have been scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. The Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles. Acts 21 and 22 is one of my favorite ones. You'll see, and they'll read the 21st verse, and they'll just shut the book right after that. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call in the name of the Lord shall be saved. And they shut the book. Hey, that's it. The Lord's dealing with everybody. The Lord loves everybody. Verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. That's a cut right there. I was watching, one of the brothers' lessons, a while back. We had just one Edomite come to the brothers, and they, he pretty much, told them to pull out the scripture, or I think the brothers pulled out themselves. They read the 21st verse. He was like, I gotcha, I told you. Because it said, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Thinking that the Lord is dealing with everybody, that just anybody can call on the name of the Lord and be saved. But, the brothers read the 22nd verse. It's a clean cut. Ye men of Israel. This is who the Lord's dealt with and who he was teaching to. The prophets of old that were in those other lands in the midst of the heathen. This is who they were teaching to. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahweh of Nazareth, and a man approved of the Most High among you by miracles and wonders and signs which the Most High did by him in the midst of you, as you yourselves also know. So the Lord is dealing with these specific people. And it can't get any clearer than that, man. Now we have 3 more scriptures, and I'll shut down from there. The Lord's will is edifying lesson. Now it says, Matthew 15:24, be answered and said, I'm not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this is our Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, man. He's coming back only for the Israelites, specifically the elect. We hope, pray that we're of the numbers, so we're doing what we can now. Making our calling to look sure. Doing what we can in order to be saved, man. To, seek out that salvation, the mercy of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because if you're without the hedge, without the protection of the Lord, you are through. But he answered and said, I'm not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. There you go. Even the scriptures in Revelation 21st chapter, going to the kingdom, having 12 gates with the 12 tribes names written on it. So if the kingdom's for everybody, why is there 12 gates? You're representing the 12 tribes. Come on. Which I think is over here in the 8th verse. It's right here. We can read the 11th verse. It's having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone, most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And it's pretty much also going to the kingdom, and also the beauty of it, which I do want to make a lesson also going into, as a faith booster and going to, what we are waiting upon. Now, verse 12, main point. And had a wall great high, or it's like, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. And at the 12 gates, 12 angels and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Wait, I thought the Lord was dealing with everybody. I thought everyone was going to be saved. Come on. And how much Messiah once again is only dealing with Israel. That's who the kingdom is for, and who will reap the the benefits of it, the promises. Ultimately everything will be better under Yahweh Shai's rule. You're also gonna have these heathens enjoy being under us. Now, verse 13. That means, look what Esau is doing all throughout the earth. He's still got to go. We can read on to the 14th verse. And on the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And at the wall of the city had 12 foundations, in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. So there you go. Now let's close it out with 2 Ezra 6:9, as I kind of mentioned earlier. As for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So hey, we're up next, man. As you go into the scriptures, how Esau, Edom, or Esau and Jacob were wrestling in the womb. You had Jacob cleaving unto his heel, and as scripture going to how the elder shall serve the younger. Esau, Edom came out first, and guess what? Then be serving us, man. As we watch now the video, that's what these heathens will come to do. You're gonna be under us in the kingdom. But push the main point of the lesson. The Lord was edifying. It's like I was kind of coughing all to it the lesson. I was trying to record it earlier today also, but I was just coughing just throughout the whole thing. So I was waiting a little bit just to get this out. But also it was edifying. I do want to give all praise on glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai, B'Shem Kadash, the apostles, and elders, great millstone for teaching us this true peace and blessings. To the hope like the visible and shalom. See you next, Lord willing.